Hola, mi nombre es Malik Jafar y hoy vamos a hablar sobre la diversidad cultural. Entremos en eso.
I'm the best, so do not test the top of my profession, the master of my chosen field, of that there is no question.
Con demasiada frecuencia, las personas no están dispuestas a mirar otras culturas. Son esas cosas que permiten que las personas sean diversas en cultura. Entender el lenguaje propio es un buen comienzo en la diversidad cultural. Con demasiada frecuencia, las personas no están dispuestas a mirar otras culturas. Son esas cosas que permitan que las personas sean diversas en cultura. Entender el lenguaje propio es un buen comienzo en la diversidad cultural. Each denke es us respect then jemand versuch ein under Sprache zu sprechen. Ich habe mit Leuten und Sprache gesprochen. Beide versuchten zu kommunizieren, gaben mir das Gefühl, ein Star Beidung zu schaffen, wie wir beide versuchten. Das sollten die Leute mein Destin einmal versuchen. Es ist ein unglaubliches Gefühl. Okay. So I know I murdered that track. Yes, I get it. But the point that I was trying to make was simply, for those that didn't know, that was Spanish and that was in German. That was my attempt at Spanish and my attempt at German. I picked those two languages because I've been exposed to those cultures to a significant degree, to the point where I had to be able to survive there. And so I had to learn some language in how to function within that society. And what I'd like to express, if you haven't gotten it by now, is that when it comes to being culturally diverse does not mean get that culture to understand your way of life. Becoming culturally diverse means exposing yourself to that culture and becoming more respectful to what it is that they are trying to say, that they are trying to convey, that you can speak what they are speaking. You don't have to be very accurate at it, but as long as you are speaking the language and someone can understand that you are trying to speak their language, it speaks volumes. It speaks volumes for that person and that culture. It's very important to at least try and make the attempt to expose yourself to that culture if you're trying to help being culturally diverse. Okay? Basically, what I had said is that too often people are not willing to look at other people's cultures. It is those things like being exposed to someone's language that is an attempt at being culturally diverse. I also said that I think it's respectful when someone tries to speak another person's language, when they try to make that attempt. I said that there was a time before where me and another person spoke to each other with no language whatsoever, because I absolutely didn't know their language and they absolutely didn't know mine. But we were in a situation where we had to convey a message to each other. Okay, it's funny when you're in imminent danger or a wolf is nearby and you have a person that speaks a different language than you, and you both know that it's coming, and you start to convey what needs to happen. Okay, that's important. I didn't talk about the wolf and all of that in there, but that was the gist of the statement. The statement was that I spoke with someone else who, with no language whatsoever. We had to use body language to convey this serious message to one another, and it's a very powerful feeling when you are able to speak with someone and connect to them without speaking any words whatsoever. It is powerful when you are able to connect to someone when you can convey that level of communication in its most minimalist sense. I think that that's very important. So the moral to what I'm getting at is this: if you're a counselor, if you're a life coach, if you're any of these things and you're reaching out to people and speaking to them, know your audience. Become culturally diverse. Don't say something ridiculous that will insult them because you didn't do your due diligence at exposing yourself to their culture. Be respectful and try more than anything else. And I think that people will appreciate that. Don't mimic the culture. Emulse or become the culture. Relate to the culture. I can't convey that any other way, but when speaking to people in large forums, know your audience, become culturally diverse. You become culturally diverse by speaking their language, and I'm not necessarily saying that their language is something that is out of this world that you haven't heard before or foreign or anything like that. I'm just talking about the language that the people are speaking that you are speaking to. Make sure you know that before you speak to them. But with that said, I've said enough. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Of course, if you have any questions or want to get at me, please feel free to message me on YouTube. Y'all stay safe. Be blessed. I got paint on my finger. I've been painting outside. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace. Bam.
I'm the best, so do not test the top of my profession, the master of my chosen field, of that there is no question.